All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for December 20th, 2021. Let's see what we got here. All right, so today, the big fail that we were concerned about from Friday, where we talked about it testing, the bottom of the river and the PSAR and the 10-day low, and we got all of that. Made a new 10-day low today. Was a big gap down, harsh sell-off. There was a battle back in the afternoon, but all it really did was just get back to the gap down opening, and just managed to clear back above Z-2, but it's well below the PSAR, which hasn't flipped yet. Until the RL10 crosses the PSAR, we won't have that strong signal of reversal yet. But we've been prepared for this. There was a test of this, this new 10-day low goes back to the previous sell-off period from the last time the market got down to these levels. But notice that the last time it took 9 days to get there, and this time it only took 3 days to get there. That's how little joy there is in this market right now, with the onset of Omicron and combined with the despair of the holiday season. Now that we're 2 years into this thing and no end in sight, and getting worse, depending on who you talk to. So that was a gloomy day today, and the emergency plunge protection team I would expect to be out in full force tomorrow. So I think there's actually some opportunities for a recovery tomorrow, a tactical recovery. So I'm going to be ready for a sharp moving day, ready to trade tomorrow short term. I don't think this is a market that you have to hurry up and get swing trades on. I think we can just play it tactically for now. No sense in hurrying, in my view. We've got just to review, we've got the Hull 3 period steeply downward. We're still in the last shakes of the PSAR sloping upward. The RL30 has been a good guide to the health of the trend. It's still sloping downward. Notice the travel path of the RL30 from the time that it peaked and rolled over, then got flat and is now on that second leg down. That's been a pretty reliable guide to the health of the market, and which is why we call it the health of the slope of the 30 is the health of the market. Yeah, so tomorrow, if we get a break above today's high, then it's a pretty fast move to get back to yesterday's low. So I actually expect that could go pretty fast if we get an upside move tomorrow. The downside move, though, is pretty clear. And if it breaks below today's low, then look out below. And then I think I'd be adding a new position at the 30-day low, or possibly at the Z3, or both. So that's a market on the downside you want to be able to exploit. The last thing I would say is, in this sell-off period, just look at the relative size of the ranges compared to all of these ranges on the upside when everything was quiet bull and grinding upward. That entire period of time, you had daily ranges that were 1/3 to 1/4 of the current daily range. That has faded into the almost distant memory now for traders. All right, let's look at the sectors. All right, so today there was a pretty tight cluster of the six primary indexes. You know, we have the S&P here at 1.06. Treasuries were the best performer, but still lost 0.75, which is odd. I would have expected it to go up today. But it's still close to 150 key price level. The Qs were down 110. Diamonds down 1.23. The Russell 1.4 and emerging markets 1.5. So not much spread on the big indexes today. All right, let's take a look at just the very few things that were better than the market. And that's actually a bad sign when the market itself was the only thing holding these things up. So you have Mexico, fractionally better, still a loss. Blended commodities, staples, wheat and precious metals, Bitcoin fractionally green, S&P bio fractionally green, the Bitcoin futures 1.67 and VIX 3.69. In fact, the only company in our stack that was better than the S&P today was Apple, and even that was down 0.81 compared to 1%. So not much to choose from at all. Now, the rest of the bad news, everything was down today. So you have agriculture minus 1.2, S&P tech 1.4. Just read them off. Oil, consumer discretionary, Archienomics, Ethereum, FANGs 1.8. Materials 2.3, finance 2.4, moonshots, energy, ARC innovation, lumber, blockchain, Brazil, oil exploration 2.8, commercial real estate 3%. Ouch. Wouldn't have bet that. Marijuana 3.4. Tesla now under the key price level of 900, off 3.5. The other lumber 4%. Lithium 5.3. Clean energy 5.5. Blended large cap crypto 5.7. Lots of pain and suffering in the metals. There's Cliff 6.6. Robinhood 5.6, Squarespace and US Steel 4%, TX 3.8, Virgin Galactic and Tesla 3.5, John Deere 2.4, Devon Energy 2.4. So really take your pick, and it was painful today. So tomorrow is going to be even more fireworks. All right, let's take a look at what the boys did today. So this was the a discussion post in the room. I think this was Stephen. And his question was on, thoughts on the exit strategies. And he was thinking about, hey, where would you put it? Uwe exit, no lose plus dinner for two. I first want to acknowledge a really nice 1, 2, 3 entry that he made here. Second position probably here. Covered here. Short and a cover. Nice work. Here was a long and cover. Now on this one, here's the trade of interest. So short here with a stop at the bottom of the RL10. So that's the risk box. And now this thing has moved down to here. And it's like a 1, 2. And where would you put the stop? So for me, The 1-2-3 stop is like right here. And I would take that stop. I would just go ahead and take the trade now and cash right there and make bank on about 1R. And the reason for that is this has held 1, 2, and if I'm bending the rules a little bit, 3 times. It had this time it couldn't even get down to here, and it looks like it's holding support here. And in both cases, like this one got back to where your entry was, and this one came and would have taken out your original stop. So given the fact that it had 5 bars to make a new low and it didn't, I would just go ahead and cash that thing right now. At a minimum, I would take this one or this one. So I'm at no, this is no lose plus dinner for 2. This one is probably half an R. I would just go ahead and take that one right there and just cash it, because we're in this well-defined channel and you got the channel move and you know how to re-enter. And if this thing fails, it's going to be large. So I would just go ahead and take the trade. That was intraday at about 1300, 1 p.m. Here's 3R in, what's this one? This is NVIDIA. So this would be less. Here's a move we wish we'd have had, and then consolidation, and then breakout failure. Get paid, that's good. Little bit of a gap up, but that's a reasonable effort. It's starting to fail, so I think you just wanted to get paid, so that's 0.4. This one fails to fail further. A reasonable shot. But if you're going to be that tight on capturing your profits, then you got to get that one here if you're going to be consistent, because now you just gave back those 2 wins. And this is where the short should be. And then you get 1 leg, 2 legs down. You might have gotten a re-entry here. But yeah, good note. This one is your classic PSAR flip after a long downward slide. Winter turns to spring, PSAR flip. There's your entry. And then you would get paid in here. And then that would be 1, 2, almost 3R instead of 0.4. This is pretty good. This is waiting for the PSAR to get violated. I don't mind that. Why are we so tight on our stops here? I'm not understanding that. But good reentry. You're really fractionalizing this here. You may be trading too large, or hands are gripping it a little too tight. But these are, you're getting a lot of winning trades. So let's not sniff our noses at 3R. But now here's a 1, 2, 3 entry. Here's the crossing of the dragon. There's the PSAR entry. All of those are to be preferred over this one, which feels like it's late. Like if you just get a standard entry here with this as your risk box or this as your risk box, that's really going to pay off. But still, that's pretty nice for one. That's a 1.3 and getting paid. Hey, I got no problems with that. You can make a living on that. Wojcik on this is on the S&P E-minis at 5. Perfect SSC. Good sniper. Good manager. Oh, actually, this one, okay, that's that one. No, this one is short. You got paid fractionally. This one is a good shot getting long, but if this one, you're believing in it too long, that's late. This is a good short. You got to get that scratched here. And then that's a good re-entry. Now you're probably gun shy because that one changed so fast that you'd end up missing the easiest trade of all. But still, 1.67 to get paid. That's not a bad day at work. Here's the S&P. Big gap down. Just wasn't much room today. Boy, you're gripping it really tight here. So both of those are -1s with not much room to wiggle. Good scratch. There was your re-entry. If you're going to be that tight on it, then doesn't that have to be a re-entry? Failure to break through the PSAR, then you should get paid on that. Here's your stop and reverse. I like the short. I like the cover on the PSAR flip. Just stop and reverse. And as tight as your stops are in here, you'll get paid on that move. Here's a CATA 2. Here's a CATA 2. All of those would get paid on the positive tip in here. This one's pretty good. That's a little bit quick to get out, but I mean, that didn't even get out of the dragon. Feels a little gun shy to me. That's all right. Keep taking the shot. And then the one time you did relax, it was -1. So there wasn't much room in here except for the ones you didn't take. This piece and that piece. So we got to take all the shots and then see how that works. But I like the tight risk control. And I wouldn't beat myself up on that. That's just learning. And here's why we should all be Bitcoin traders. Here's here's 22R in Bitcoin. Let's see what we got. All right, so the morning hook crosses the VWAP, gets paid at the PSAR. A bit slow on the re-entry. You let a lot of it slip away, but you did get paid. And good stop and reverse. Yeah, there were 3 places we could have added more positions. So instead of just 2.6, that could have been, 8 to 10. Nice recovery. I'd like to see you get it here instead of here. You're letting too much get away. Good stop and reverse to get paid. There's a CATA 2. Oh, away from computer, but that's where your CATA 2 would be. Got paid. Good scratch and re-entry and scratch. That's good. This one really dominated. That was good. And then a re-entry right away, smashingly good. Good protection, got paid, good scratch. Big paycheck. Dude, just keep firing. Man, that's how you do it. All right, let's go to the first dashboard today. We're still in that bullish volatile. Oversold on now the 10-day. We just got alerted to a possible risk on move. believe it or not, some of that volatility coming out of the market. So let's be ready for a rebound in the US indexes tomorrow. That's how I'm reading that. Tons of auto framers, as you would expect with the sell-off of the last 3 days. Take your pick. This is a buyer's market. Even better in the ETFs, a ton of opportunities, including clean energy, all of the globals are better than 5-1. Holy mackerel. And the Dow's at 4-1. S&P's at 4-1. Well, this is a buyer's market. Be ready for tomorrow. Fireworks. That's all I'm going to say. IWM should be especially tasty, and so should Brazil. Look, there's not even a thing in the green in the ETFs for 90 days and inward. Not a single thing in the green. Mexico's the closest thing to a bull right now. That and staples. So let's be ready for big index moves tomorrow and keep it tight intraday. All right, that's everything I got for us today. Let's be ready for a sled ride tomorrow. It's going to be a wild and crazy day. All right, let's get this published and posted. Well done. I should say the protreptic course, the home study course, is complete. It is outstanding for leaders of organizations or for people that are looking to explore their own inner space for values. It's quite a good course. I put a free version of the introduction and conclusion on Patreon today for you guys to take a look at. But I think it's a really good piece of work. All right, that's everything I got for you today. Let's lock and load for tomorrow and be ready to go. Yeah, Ken H, that's a good piece of work in that protreptic. The last session we did for the wrap up is you're going to enjoy.